Hello everyone, gather round, gather round. Welcome to your first day of class. You can call me Professor C because that is my name. And for today's lecture, we are going to be referencing this book of poetry that hopefully you have acquired in the mail that you've bought. Is this one. It is called The Wonder of Small Things, Poems of Peace and Renewal by, the poems are by different authors. It's a collection book, but the foreword is by Nikita Gill, and it was edited by James Cruz. Today we are going to be reading poetry from this book and analyzing it. Hopefully you have acquired it by now, since it is the first day. Now, if you will, open with me to page 97. The first poem that we will be reading today is by Emily Ligren, and it is called Meditation. Sitting near the window, I watched a fly stammering against the glass, trying to break free and transcend the transparent boundary it could not comprehend. As I cupped my hands around the fly, then let it out the open door, I wished that we could trade places, that someone would gently remove me from the invisible walls I've pressed myself up against. After an opening I am too small to see. After sitting longer, I start to think that maybe I am all parts of the story. The trembling fly, the gently cupped hands, the clear glass window, the necessary air outside. It's quite beautiful, isn't it? This seems to be speaking about how at the end of the day, we have more control over things than we believe that we do. In meditation, the opening of our mind is what leads us to realize this. Now, class, if you have any alternate interpretations of this, or thoughts, questions, any comments that you want to make, feel free to make them. I personally think that this is a very beautiful poem. Next. By Mark Nepo, we have a poem entitled Art Lesson. The mind moves like a pencil, the heart moves like a brush. While the mind can draw exquisite prints, the heart, with its deep, bright colors, will ignore the lines you only follow your mind, you will never go outside the lines. If you only follow your heart, what you touch will never resemble anything. We must be a student of both, for the mind can build itself a home, but only the heart can live it. Now I feel that this poem is very suitable for our situation right now, don't you think? Of course, I am here to encourage the academic minds of the youth, more so necessarily than whatever your heart wants. I'm here to give you the logic, but I also believe that in class you can tap into your creativity a bit. I will allow it. Maybe not this lecture, but maybe next time. So, very beautiful poem as well. Next. By Carolyn Webster, entitled Expecting. I wait sometimes for hours, days, 9 months, for an idea, a first line, or simply one word. I wait so long, I never start. The stories, though, are there, aren't they? Gestating, always awaiting birth. I must prod gently, nurture, ease them out. That is peace, I think, delivering what emerges. Now, if you had to give your own opinion, do you agree with this author's definition of peace? Do you think that peace is delivering what emerges? Would you agree with that conclusion? Or do you have some of your own ideas that you'd like to share? The next is by Joseph Bruchek, and it is called Birdfoot's Grandpa. Silly name, isn't it? See why. The old man must have stopped our car 24 times to climb out and gather into his hands the small toads blinded by our lights and leaping, live drops of rain. The rain was falling, a mist about his white hair, and I kept saying, "You can't save them all. Accept it. Get back in. We've got places to go." But leathery hands full of wet brown life, knee-deep in the summer roadside grass, he just smiled and said, "They have places to go too." This poem seems to be about having consideration for other living beings, and I think that this random, unusual man, although he had a very unconventional way of going about it. Definitely portrayed his consideration for these toads that were in the road. If you were in that situation, say you were a commuter on the way to class, but you saw some toads crossing the road, would you too be like that old man, step out that car and help them? Or would you leave them to their own devices, perhaps even run them over? No wrong answer. There's no judgment here. But please give your opinions. I would like to know what you would do in that situation. For the record, if I were driving to work and you were stuck in the road, I would stop to save you. What's next? Do you have a suggestion for another page that you would like to be read aloud? Please tell me. Oh, too late. I found one. 115. This Summer Day by Barbara Crooker. That sprinkler is at it again, hissing and spitting its arc of silver, and the parched lawn is tickled green. The air hums with the busy traffic of butterflies and bees who navigate without lane markers, stop signs, directional signals. One of my friends says we're now in the shady side of the garden, having moved past pollination, fruition, and all that bee buzz jazz into our autumn days. But I say wait, it's still summer, and the breeze is full of sweetness, spilled from a million petals. It wraps around your arms, lifts the hair from the back of your neck. The salvia, coreopsis, roses have set the borders on fire, and the peaches waiting to be picked are heavy with juice. We are still ripening into our bodies, still in the act of becoming. Rejoice in the day's long sugar. Praise that big fat tomato of a sun. In my personal interpretation of this piece, I would actually rather disagree with the author and their perspective. It's not still summer, otherwise you wouldn't be here. It's definitely still spring. That's why you're still in class. That's why you can't get away from me. So, still, beautiful imagery that I'm sure you've been fantasizing about this entire time. Next, Gathering by Nina Bagley. We are gatherers, the ones who pick up sticks and stones and old wasp nests fallen by the door of the barn, walnuts with holes that look like eyes of owls, bits of shell not whole but lovely in their brokenness. We are the ones who bring home empty eggs of birds and place them on a small glass shelf. To keep for what? How long? It matters not. What matters is the gathering. In the pockets filled with remnants of a day evaporated, the traces of certain memory, a lingering smell, a smile that came with the shell. I do enjoy the last couple of lines. The pockets filled with remnants of a day evaporated, the traces of certain memory, a lingering smell, a smile that came with the shell. Very, very good rhyme, I will say. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Please tell me the rhyme scheme of this poem. Trick question. It's mostly free verse. Next, Holding the Light by Stuart Kestenbaum. Gather up whatever is glittering in the gutter, whatever has tumbled in the waves or fallen in flames out of the sky. For it's not only our hearts that are broken, but the heart of the world as well. Stitch it back together. Make a place where the day speaks to the night and the earth speaks to the sky. Whether we created God or God created us, it all comes down to this. In our imperfect world, we are meant to repair and stitch together what beauty there is. Stitch it with compassion and wire. See how everything we have made gathers the light inside itself and overflows. A blessing. Quite a beautiful testament to how humanity can pick up the broken pieces of life and put them back together. Just like I'm hoping that all of my students, yes, you, all of you, will. And hopefully some of that is due to my influence. Next. Sometimes I wake early. Yeah, but I don't really want to. It's just because I have to come here. Sorry. Sometimes I wake early by Michael Sims. Sometimes I wake early and walk through the house, touching doors that swing into darkness, my bare toes searching out toys and magazines. Outside, it might be raining, a full wind, filling the trees like sails. I sit in the love seat under the bay window, hugging myself, letting the children's dreams wash over me like waves. Last night, we took a friend for a walk along the edge of our mountain. She looked out over the city, the rivers, the sultry slopes crowded with sumac and maple, and said, "So you know where you live?" "Yes." In the darkness and rain, our small house stands in a huddle of houses under the clouds in a story we ourselves are telling. Thoughts, comments, interpretations, shoot. Now this next poem, one of my personal favorites in the book, by Marjorie Moorhead. It is called Head in the Clouds. The cloud, so distant from me here, on earth, on this wood of our deck, on 2 feet, looking up, I reel it in and imagine droplets misting my face, tears or shower, relief, renewal. It's all there, in a white fluffy ball, changing semblance in winds that come from all directions, able to morph, adapt. Can I be the cloud? May I take it as my cotton-filled pillow, tuck it under my head, let muscles relax, and dream visions come. I send thoughts up and away, near and far, supportive and sieve-like. I will bring cloud down, wrap it round, wear it as a shawl or skirt. I will twirl, letting cloud take what shapes it may. I know there are days I laugh aloud, and in some feel enveloped by trepidation. Let me remember, while still free from shroud, to lift my gaze and not ignore. In that space and time of each given day, whichever season, let me adore, adore, adore. I love any imagery that has to do with clouds. I think that the poem is named very appropriately, Head in the Clouds. I can definitely see that that is the state that you are all in right now, after me having lectured the hell out of you. Wake up. Don't go to sleep. I see your phone out. I can see it. I have eyes, you know. I'm wearing these for a reason. Can I see without them? Yeah. Well, yes, but not very well. Of course. I don't have like 1 out of 20 vision. I don't have good vision, but it's not terrible. Okay, stop getting me off topic. Next poem. In Several Colors by Jane Kenyon. Every morning, cup of coffee in hand, I look out at the mountain. Ordinarily, it's blue, but today, it's the color of an eggplant. And the sky turns from gray to pale apricot as the sun rolls up Main Street in Andover. I study the cat's face and find a trace of white around each eye, as if he made himself up today for a part in the opera. This one has an air of comedy to it. I think it works very well. What do you think? I enjoy it. I enjoy this poem very much. Although I can't say I've ever seen an eggplant-colored sky. That would be a new one to me. Now, I'm only feeding you one more, so you better be awake for it. This one also involves a cat. It's called Instinct by Catherine Petrocelli. My cat loves sweat, loves to tuck the leather patch of her nose into the space under my arm, run her rough tabbed tongue along my neck, flesh glistening after a brisk walk, craves nothing more than to taste salt of exertion, sometimes even to take a small bite. What it would be to have such freedom, to step into our desires as if they were owed us, our faces pressed up against that which we cannot control. We'd sniff here and there for the thing to stir our blood, and, on finding it, plunge forward without thought for consequence, not in wanton greed, but sure-footed, along trajectories that ignite, all that surrounds us aglow in the light of a contented sky. What kind of world would it be? Each of us moving to rhythms passed on by previous purveyors of stardust, grown in the fat of our marrow, ancient knowledge from the whole of who we are that drives not toward money, obligation, fear, but toward joy and abandon, instinct, impulse, wonder. Very powerful, isn't it? I very much love the message of just falling into the things that bring us joy and wonder in this sort of ultra-passionate way that is not unhealthy, but well-deserved. Although I don't think that anyone's cat should be doing as described. That is kind of strange, actually. Please give your opinions on the metaphor. Alright, everybody. Now that I have bored the absolute life out of you, our lecture has officially ended for today. I'm going to let you loose a little bit early because I have too many papers to grade, and I kind of need you out of here, but I still appreciate you actually showing up despite clearly not being interested very much. At least not showing it. Thank you so much, and be safe on your travels to your next class or wherever you have to go. Goodbye. Oh, thank God they're gone. Oh, thank God.